The future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam. But to be credible, those who condemn that slander must also condemn the hate we see in the images of Jesus Christ that are desecrated, or churches that are destroyed, or the Holocaust that is denied.
That's right. Leave Barack Obama to defame Christianity in his own way. Joining us now is Larry Klayman, founder of Judicial Watch and Freedom Watch. Larry, welcome back. You recently wrote a column where you urged the media to tell, in your words, the real truth about Obama. What, in your view, is the real truth about Barack Obama?
I could go on and on, but it's very simple. We have someone who sympathizes with the so-called Muslim faith in the White House, someone who does everything through the prism of the religion he identifies with, which is Islam, and by race. And he has to be a president for all the people, not just for his people. And it's about time we started calling it like it is. And let's go back to his Cairo speech, where he used his middle name Hussein. That was taboo during the first election in 2008, where he canceled the National Day of Prayer in the White House and feasted Ramadan and endorsed the Ground Zero Mosque, where he gave an interview to George Stephanopoulos in 2008, where he said his Muslim faith, where he wears a ring that says, "My only God is Allah." Someone photographed it up close, where he is constantly disparaging the Prime Minister of Israel and doing everything he can to harm Israel, and even allowing his own staff to use derogatory language against the Prime Minister most recently, and deep-sixing the Prime Minister's ability to speak in front of Congress in a completely open way, organizing the opposition in Israel against the Prime Minister. And lately, we see what's going on. Coptic Christians are killed, Egyptians in Libya. They're just ordinary persons, they're not Christians. Jews are killed in a market in Paris, and they're just random bystanders. It's clear that this guy is a Muslim through and through. He has to admit it. And what's more important, the American people need to know, and talk show hosts, and thank God for you, Steve, that you're confronting this, because most won't, have to say he's not just incompetent, he's not just detached, it's that everything he does nearly is based on favoring his own people, which are Muslims and African Americans, and we all deserve to be represented by our president. Nobody should be left out.
About a year ago, you made a reference to the president in a speech satirically asking the president to get up off his knees and put the Quran down and come out with his hands up. You're not only sticking by that statement, you're saying that you've been borne out in the year that's gone by, correct?
Yeah, it's more true than ever. You know, sometimes humor says a lot. And, you know, it wasn't totally humor, but it just came out of me. I got up on the dais that day with Sarah Palin and Mike Lee, Senator Mike Lee and Senator Cruz, and it just flew out of my mouth because that's what I was thinking. And that's what, frankly, the country has been thinking, but nobody says. But it's a reality. And to this president, and I left out of my recitation of his Muslim roots, he was schooled in madrasa schools in Indonesia and elsewhere. He thinks like a Muslim. He believes that he is a Muslim. He obviously does worship the Quran. He obviously is, in fact, biased against people who are not of his claimed religion and otherwise. So, yes, it rings truer today than even before. And the reality is he's also enmeshed in tens of scandals, and that's why I made the reference to come out with your hands up, because, frankly, he should have been impeached by now. And let's be blunt, and I don't mean this in a racist way, but if he had been Richard Nixon and he had been Caucasian, he would have been gone by now. He plays the race card. He uses it well. People are scared to criticize him because if you do, you're going to be called a racist, whether it's in Ferguson, Missouri, or whether it's with Trayvon Martin. But it's okay for him to go after people of different persuasions and different colors. But we can't be candid about him. And we're not talking about his race, and we're not talking about his religion. We're talking about his actions. Actions speak louder than words. And that's what I was saying in front of the mall that day in a satirical way.
Very briefly, we got less than a minute. You talk about he should have been impeached. The Texas judge ruling against his executive order on immigration. Does that speak volumes to your point?
It speaks huge volumes. You know, because given the fact that the president is a Muslim at heart and half Muslim by birth, he can't even swear to the Constitution because you have to swear on the Holy Bible of Judeo-Christians. This president obviously believes in Sharia law. And as a result, he has no respect for this Constitution, which was founded by our founding fathers on Judeo-Christian principles.
All right,
whether you're
Larry.
Judeo-Christian or not, those are the principles.
All right, Larry, not afraid to say what you think, and I always respect that. Thank you for your time. Larry Klayman. Up next, folks, President and CEO of the
Thank you,
Heartland
Steve.
Institute. You're welcome. Joseph Bast will be with us.